Good evening. Please, get comfortable. Take a breath. We're going to talk about two things that feel, at first glance, worlds apart: famine and hope. Not just any hope, not blind optimism, but a specific, powerful, actionable kind, strategic hope. And we're going to find it in a story that is often told only in shadows, the story of the Great Irish Famine of the 1840s, and Gortamore, the Great Hunger. For a moment, let's hold the statistics. The million who died, the million more who fled, the hollowed-out villages and silent fields. Let's hold that grief. It is real and it is necessary. But I want to ask you a question that history forces us to confront. Can a catastrophe make a nation? Because that's what happened. In the crucible of that unspeakable suffering, something was forged. A modern Irish national consciousness. A diaspora that would span the globe. A relentless, strategic hope that refused to let a people be erased. This isn't about finding a silver lining. This is about understanding how, in the absolute darkest soil, the most resilient seeds of identity and purpose are sometimes planted. Let's first sit in the reality. The potato blight was a biological tragedy, but the famine itself, that was a political and economic one. The food was their grain, livestock, but it was being exported under armed guard from starving counties. The dominant dogma of the day was laissez-faire, the belief that the market would somehow solve it. Relief was meager, often contingent on brutal workhouses. This was hopelessness, institutionalized. It was a message seared into the soul of a people. You are not seen. You are not valued. Your survival is not our concern. This is the first lesson of strategic hope. It is not born in comfort. It is born in the clear-eyed, unflinching recognition of a broken system. The Irish peasant, staring at their rotting crop while a full ship sailed away, learned a terrible truth about the structure of their world. That truth, as bitter as it was, became the bedrock. You cannot build hope on illusion. You build it on the raw, ugly facts of reality. Now, picture the coffin ships, the desperate journey across the Atlantic. Those who left carried with them what little they could, a few belongings, a memory of a green place, and something far heavier, story of injustice. In the holds of those ships, and later in the tenements of Boston, New York, and Sydney, they did something extraordinary. They told their story. They sang their songs in new accents. They built parishes, newspapers, and powerful political networks. They preserved the memory. This is the second pillar of strategic hope. It is a currency carried in community and narrative. Their hope was not that they would return to the old life that was gone forever. Their hope was that they would not disappear, that their children would know where they came from, that their suffering would mean something. They turned memory into identity, and identity into a collective project. The nation was no longer just a plot of land. It was a story being told across an ocean, and that story became fuel. The famine diaspora funded the movement for independence back home. They provided the money, the political pressure, and the global awareness. Figures like Charles Stewart Parnell articulated the cause on the world stage. The grief solidified into a clear, strategic objective: self-determination. This is the very core of strategic hope. It is hope with a plan. It is hope that analyzes power, identifies leverage points, and builds capacity. It moves from the agonizing wail of why to the determined question of how. How do we organize? How do we educate our people? How do we wield economic and political tools? How do we ensure this never happens again? The famine had revealed the ultimate vulnerability: dependence on a system that did not value you. Strategic hope answered. Therefore, we must build our own system. So, what does this all mean for you, here, now? You are probably not living through a famine, but you may be living through your own version of a broken field. Maybe it's an industry that's crumbling, a climate crisis that feels impossibly vast, a personal loss that has completely reordered your world, or a societal injustice that enrages you. The pattern holds true. First, see the system clearly. Name the blight, but also name the ships sailing away full. What are the real structures causing your pain? Where is the failure? Look at it without flinching. This isn't pessimism. This is the foundation of strategy. A clear diagnosis must precede an effective remedy. Second, carry your culture. What is the core of who you are and what you value that cannot be taken from you, even if everything else is lost? Your skills, your relationships, your principles, your story. Preserve that, nurture that, share that. That is your seed corn for the future. Third, forge a goal from the grievance. Turn the pain into a question of how. Instead of just saying this system is unfair, ask, how do I build a parallel system or change this one? Instead of this model is obsolete, ask, how do I learn the new skills and build the new network?